everybody, welcome to another episode of Exploring Photography right here on Adorama TV. I'm Mark Wallace, and my motorcycle tour around the world, 6 continents on this motorcycle has started, and a lot of people have been asking me about the gear, specifically the video gear and the still photography gear that I've been taking and how I've packed it all in my motorcycle. Now what I have here to document things as I'm riding, I actually have a GoPro system that I've set up. I've got a little mount on my helmet that's on the top of the helmet here. I've got a remote control right here on the handlebars so I can turn on and off my helmet cam, but I also have 2 cameras, one on each side on my pannier here, so I can sort of get some interesting shots to sort of show you how I'm going down the road. So that's how I'm sort of documenting as I'm going. My camera gear, most of it is in this tank bag right here, and then all the rest of my gear, my audio gear, my computers, my editing gear, my mouse, all of my charging equipment, they are in these panniers. And I have actually a waterproof duffel bag right here that has tripod and light stand. I've got panniers that have different things stashed in those. And when I open these, inside here I've got these bags. And these bags contain all the goodies. And so instead of trying to do this outside, we're going to go into the studio and I'll show you how I've packed each of these and all the stuff that I'm taking along for the ride. Well, I've taken the bags out of my panniers here, and we're going to go through these. Now, one thing to note, that when you're packing on a motorcycle, weight is really important, and the distribution of weight is really important. It needs to be low, and it needs to be equally distributed across all of these different bags. So it might not seem normal the way I've packed these, but I've done a lot of this because of how the weight needs to be shifted around on the motorcycle for safety. So I've got these 2 bags that weigh essentially the same thing, my tank bag, and then my rear pannier bag. And then over here we've got this waterproof duffel bag. Now, one of the challenges of traveling around the world and doing the work that I need to do, I need to be able to do the filming of the ride. I need to be able to shoot Adorama TV videos, so I need video gear for that. I want to shoot stills, and then also I want to do some studio work. So I need to have a studio gear, studio setup all inside of this. And so let me show you how I've done this. It's pretty cool what you can do these days. So first let's start with this waterproof duffel bag here. Inside of this I have my tripod. And normally I would be using this to put my video camera on. And so right now Guillermo is running the camera here for me, which is very awesome. And then also inside here I have a small light stand, and this is used for my studio setup. And so that just goes right over here. I'll put this on the ground, and we'll show you a little bit more of that a little bit later. Now, if you want to know the specifics of what all this gear is, the brands, the models, we've linked all of that in the description here on YouTube, so check that out if you want to know specifically. But just to save time, I'm going to skip through that. And then the other thing I have in here is a tool kit so I can fix my motorcycle. And then I've got a sleeping bag and some camping gear and some other things in this bag. But as far as the gear is concerned, that's what we really want to look at. All right, let's move on here. Over here in this pannier, I've got my clothes, so those will go away. And then down inside here, one of the things that I've done is I've used all these little Tenba cases to organize my gear. So this one is everything that has to do with charging for the GoPros and USB devices. This guy here is for hard drives, backups, audio gear, camera cleaning. It's sort of a miscellaneous bag. Also, I have inside here another small Tenba case. This is for my computer stuff, so I've got audio monitoring headsets, I've got my mouse, I've got a 2 terabyte hard drive for storing video, and then all the cables that I need to capture and back up stuff. And then I have charging for my cameras, for batteries, and all of that kind of stuff. And then I've got this little guy I'll show you here in a second. So that's that bag. And this weighs quite a bit, so that's about 10 pounds of gear. Now over here on the other side, got my motorcycle stuff. Here comes the studio equipment. So I've got a speed ring here. That is awesome. I've got a soft box. I've got a grid for my soft box. And then I have some really interesting stuff. So I've got some winter clothes and things. I'll just take those out really fast. But inside here, I have a case, and this is a case that comes with the Profoto B2. And inside of here, I actually have my Profoto B2. So here's my studio lighting gear is in there. I've got a Profoto B2 head, and notice how that's nice and protected inside the bag. And now you can see why I have this stand. So now I've got this set up where I can actually throw a studio light on this stand. And I'll set this all up later so you can see how it looks all set up, and we'll just sort of cut that in. And then I've got this. So this is my studio lighting gear. I have a little case right here that's thrown in there, and this holds my remote trigger, my USB cables for upgrading the firmware. This is an Air remote. So again, I've got all my studio lighting gear. For video, when I'm shooting in a low light situation, I need some light. And so Savage Universal, the company that makes Savage paper, has these new LED light panels. And I'm going to blind you here in a second. Bam! And so this guy is awesome. So I can turn up and turn down the intensity. I can change the color temperature. And it mounts on a cold shoe. So it's got a little cold shoe adapter that pops on there. And this also can go on a tripod. So basically I have a video light, and this thing is awesome. They just came out with it. It's less than $100, or around $100 for this. It is spectacular. So I use that for shooting in low light situations. I've got my Seikonic light meter. Again, this is my studio in a box right here. Then all my cables for charging all my batteries and stuff for the studio. So we've got that. So I've got a complete studio setup in my bag. Oh, but wait, there's more. Inside my tank bag, I've got this Tenba bag. And in here, what I have is I have all of my Leica equipment. So I've got my camera, all my lenses fit in here, my lens hoods, my viewfinder adapters, all that kind of stuff is in this bag, and it fits right there. So I can just sort of grab that when I'm zipping down the road. But what if I want to take this and go on a photo shoot? Well, that's where this little bag comes in. So this is a bring your own bag, I think is what Tenba calls it. And so what these do, these are made for doing exactly what I'm doing. So now this plops into here, and now I've got my little shoulder kit, my messenger bag that I can take and go out and shoot, and I've got that. When I'm done, this just folds away. So I've got a complete bag inside of a bag. The other thing that goes inside this tank bag is the video camera that we're shooting with right now. It's my Panasonic Lumix FZ1000, and so here's some B-roll so you can see exactly what that thing looks like. That goes in this bag as well, and so you can see that there's just tons of stuff packed in here. And what about this bag? Well, as I mentioned, I'm using GoPros to document everything on the bike and use that for B-roll, etc. So I've got this little Tenba bag that holds all my GoPros. So I've got 3 of those, and so those are all safe and secure. And I have it here so I can just pull those out and put them back as I'm zipping down the road. More clothes here. I've got an iPad so I can read my Kindle and do all that kind of stuff. And then also inside of here, I have this day pack. And this day pack holds my external hard drive for still footage, and then also my MacBook Pro. So that all goes in there. The nice thing about this is it doesn't look like a camera bag or a computer bag. It looks like a hiking bag. And so it's a little bit, I think, safer for walking around cities that are sort of foreign to you. And then the other thing I have is my trusty little Coleman tripod here. So that's used. I've shown you that in many videos. So there it is. There are all of my different bags and things that I'm using. I think the star of the show for organizing this stuff are these Tenba bags, because you can really make sure everything stays organized. And you can see right here, we'll sort of bring this in closer, that I've got individual cables inside of here. And what I've done is I've sort of organized these and memorized where they are, and that way if I have an empty spot like this, I know that something is missing and I need to find it before I pack up my bag and go. I really, really love that. And then on the other side you can put sort of larger stuff, and so it works out just great. All right, well, there's all the stuff that I'm taking with me, and that's how I'm making the videos, shooting the stills, doing all of that stuff along the road. And you can see that now things have really become small, specifically stuff like this, an entire studio in a really small box, and I absolutely love it. You're gonna see this gear over and over in upcoming Adorama TV videos, but so many people have asked me how I've packed all this stuff. I just thought I would make a video to show you. Don't forget, I've added links to all this gear so you know exactly what it is in the description below this video, and I'll go into individual pieces in future videos. If you want to know about something specifically, well, leave a comment on this video and ask me, and then we'll do a video about that specifically. Well, thanks so much for joining me for this episode of Exploring Photography. Don't forget to subscribe to Adorama TV. It's absolutely free, that way you don't miss a single thing. And check out the Adorama Learning Center. It's pretty awesome, and again, it's absolutely free. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again next time.